intimate, the setting we have in here right now. I like the half rows of seats, this is nice. But yeah, this is something else. I can't make my way through a room without talking to 50 different people. It takes me probably like I'm a sloth trying to make my way across the room. It takes me all day now with all you here. This is such a wonderful thing. It's so weird having us all together when we're usually just in the forum. So like seeing everyone it's just odd. It's so surreal. Thank you all for coming. So this next speaker, some of you know, and some of you may, well, I'm sure you all know, Khan, the man. Khan, why don't you come up here and talk about something for us? Khan, everybody, come to the studio.
Feedback, feedback.
In this video, welcome folks. It's an absolute pleasure to be here in Pasadena, California, 9,000 miles away from a place that I call home, Sydney, Australia. It is a pleasure, not only because I'm greeted with the opportunity to meet each and every one of you, but also to share the enthusiasm for the very thing that's brought us together today. Facing off, or is it face on? For many, many years, decades in fact, we've had an industry that's grown around aesthetics, putting stuff on our face. This is what ladies do. They put on makeup. Or of course actors. Any thespians out there? Thespians with a TH. The thing that is intriguing is that this particular hobby, this lifestyle, this way of life, is about taking things off. It's about removing stubble. It's about grooming. So men need to take things off, although we've seen some women take things off today, I have to say. And ladies, of course, put things on, or they pack things on. Is there a difference? Essentially, no. It's the same thing. So I'm very excited that finally, the pendulum has swung back to the centre somewhere. That both men and women are represented in what could only be called traditional wet shaving. I don't want to bore you, as you know, my videos only go for 6 minutes. If you want something that goes into 30, we'll have to bring Buster up here. We'll have to get him to come up and say hello. But I have to say, come on, Buster, come on up here and say hello to everybody.
Yeah. How's it going?
Yeah, now get off. No, stay here. Yeah, we do videos. We enjoy doing videos. But one thing that I'd like to encourage each and every one of you, and I've spoken to a lot of people out there today, people that do their own videos, is to keep doing them. I don't care about polished productions. I don't care about the professional look. You might say, well, that's you being a hypocrite because you insist that your videos have a particular look and feel about them. It's more about function and content rather than form. That's the most important thing. The thing can look great, but if it's rubbish on the inside, I mean, we know this with products as well. Products are packaged beautifully, but if there's no quality within it, then people aren't going to engage, they're not going to purchase the product, they're not going to engage with the product. And so I guess a successful wet tube videographer, I'm not going to call her a wet tuber, we don't call them wet tubers anymore. You know, I'll be thrown out of town anyway, I can't get it. Is speak from the heart. I don't care if somebody feels that their production qualities aren't as, or their production values aren't as high or as good as they could be. The fact that you're putting content out there is the most important thing. Everything else is about auto exposure, white balance, 3-point lighting systems and all that sort of stuff. If you want to get into that, that's fine. And thankfully you can get into that for not a lot of money. But I would rather people spend their money on wet shaving products and inexpensive wet shaving products as well as those that are above a certain price point, rather than putting in time and effort to produce a Cecil B. DeMille production. The most important thing is to stick at it. Keep at it. We are, and the reason I brought Buster along here is that he made quite a profound statement when we met in New York earlier this year. He said, "Can you believe that?"
Yeah, hopefully it was good.
It was a great statement. You don't remember, do you? He's a lunatic. He's a lunatic. Basically, he said we are at one of the most exciting times in wet shaving. Perhaps they thought that 100 years ago with King Gillette and his wonderful invention. But I say this simply because if you look around the auditorium, the rooms, these rather beautiful cavernous walls of stats, you'll see that there are people that are offering products steeped in tradition, but also products that are artisan products, people that have put their life, their time and effort into it, and that's important. These people are at the coalface. These people are the ones that are putting in blood, sweat and tears and many, many hours to provide, yes, it's a business. You know, let's not sugarcoat this, it is a business. But what does this business yield to the person if they're up all hours of the night cooking soap or making a cologne or doing whatever it is that they're doing? Is that equal to the reward they're getting? And I would suggest to you that it probably isn't. These guys are probably on $1 an hour if you average out what they're doing. So there has to be something else there, and that's passion. So I don't know why I've got you here. I don't know why I know I put it because I love you. I love Buster. Buster, would you like to speak to that? I mean, is that something that, but keep it under a day.
No, it definitely is passion. And the thing is you know, you get to talk to some of these artisans, and not only are they making the soaps, but they're using the soaps, and they use other artisan soaps, and they're just as excited to try other people's soaps as their own. And so that's why it's so exciting right now, is because everybody cares. You know, it's not just sell a product, it's sell a product, but also share my love for wet shaving. And that's why I love these artisans soap makers. And even the people that aren't artisans, I think now we're seeing more and more of them want to engage the community. You know, we have some great people here that you would traditionally call artisans, but they're here engaging the community, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, this isn't a trade show. This is a meet and greet with people that love wet shaving. I was speaking to Rick earlier about, you know, there are groups out there that are into karaoke, for instance, and when you tell somebody that you're you know, part of a wet shaving community, they look at you as if, you know, what are you, nuts? It ain't that strange, really. Yeah, I know that watching someone shave day in, day out may seem a little sociopathic or psychotic, but in actual fact, what we're doing, I think, is connecting with the person. I feel connected to the people that I have spoken to here today. As cheesy and as silly as that sounds, I really do feel connected to each and every one of you. I haven't met you because what we do on YouTube is the sort of one-way thing. You know, you send it out and you hope that the video that you put out reaches people. But I think it's about more than just reaching out. It's about leading out. You know, the Latin origins of the word education are educare, which means to lead out, to go from here to something else. I'm not an educator. I'm someone that participates and facilitates this sort of stuff. I want to facilitate, and I've got a little bit of time on my hands at the moment, and that's what I'm doing. But we all facilitate we call it enabling as well. We're enablers as well. I encourage those of you to make as many videos as possible. Make them for yourself. Don't put them out. Keep them private. And then one day you'll look at it and you'll say, you know what, I want to share this with the world. Do what David Gonzalez did. Make a video, burst onto the scene and then say, hey man, I'm just doing my own thing. I'm just doing it. That's what it's about. That's one of the things that we love about this community. We all come from all walks of life. It is one of the most egalitarian things you would ever want to do because everyone grows whiskers. Both men and women grow whiskers. And the removal of those whiskers is what brings us all together in some odd way. Yeah, it's kind of a depilatory love. There's Freud here. It's Freudian in some way. You know, Freud was wrong. He should have included a follicle stage as well. You know, he went from we won't go through Freudians. Anyway, essentially what I'm saying is that I'm really delighted to see each and every one of you here. There was a little apprehension. Is this event going to be successful? It was successful the moment that it was announced, and I'll tell you why. Because it just meant that there were people out there that were thinking about it. Next year, no doubt, it'll be even bigger. I'm sure. Next year, should we be here next year?
I say we go as many places as possible.
You know, Buster sings, but I won't do that to you. I won't do that to you. I won't do it to you. No, I believe that a little bit later we're going to have a panel where people can ask questions. I'm only too happy to answer questions. I'll tell you my zodiac and my blood group even. I'll share that with you. No? Social security number, we'll give you anything you want. No, really, it's about sharing. I don't know any more, any less than anyone else, because everyone's experience is their own experience. It's subjective. That's why we keep going on about your mileage may vary. But watch videos, but make them too, please. Really. I can't say, because they will help you find the wet shade of you. That sounds tacky, I know, but it's true. It really is true. That's it for me. I think I've gone beyond my 6-minute quota.
You won. I said I stole some of your time. I just want to say thanks, Con, for being here. I mean, this is awesome. He comes all the way from Australia. Thank you so much. And I think I started seeing your videos maybe 8 months ago, and now we've met each other twice. And I meet all you guys, so that's one of the things about doing the videos is, yeah, at first they're for yourself, but you're sharing with the rest of the community. And we're in a world where YouTube is the norm now, so don't be afraid to do it. You know, everybody, you can go online and see tons of people making fools of themselves all day long, so you're not going to be any worse than they are. What you're doing though is you're sharing your love for something that you care about. And it affects people. It causes people to say, look, I want to do that too. Or if I'm already doing it, wow, somebody else like me who's also sharing. And I'm not the only person who has 500 soaps or 20 razors or whatever. I don't have 500, but I'm getting them. I'm trying to catch beta, okay? Yeah. So I encourage you as well. But thanks again. I love the fact that you're here. I mean, I hope to go to Australia one day and do that same for you. So.
Okay, look, as I say, I don't want you to sit there for a bum-numbing 3 hours listening to my stuff. Thank you. That's all what I really want to say is thank you. I mean it sincerely. Your participation in wet shaving, but also your participation on YouTube and on the social media forums and Facebook and the like helps, because it drives this whole community. It really does drive the community. As I said, shaving is a solitary exercise. Let's share it with as many people as possible. Thank you, folks. Appreciate your attention.